Hey guys, this is Ron Myers with WebScraperApp. Thank you very much for joining. I see we have Adele and Ronald. This is our webinar on WebScraperApp, the application and what it can do for you. And we'll be reviewing this for Anusha's Dropship Sniper group. So let me just drop real quick into chat Anusha's discount code. That's AK-15809. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll minimize the chat, but you've got that now. Okay, so a little bit of background. I don't know how much time you guys have scheduled, but typically it takes about an hour to go through. Ronald, Adele, happy to answer any questions as we go through this. I want to make sure you guys get a good overview here, and we get anything answered that's important to you. Let me give you a little bit of background on myself and my dropshipping e-commerce journey on Amazon, and then I want to talk a little bit about where we started and how we ended up on WebScraperApp, what our values are, in other words, why we're doing this, what's important, and then we'll jump in and we'll give a quick overview on the app and go from there. So really quick, so I have a degree in computer science, and I've been in enterprise software for 28 years. Back at the end of 2015, I decided to get into the e-commerce space, as a lot of you guys do. And I listened to a video on Gary Vee, and he talked about guys like me that have tons of experience and can do this. And so I jumped in, and toward the end of my first year on Amazon, I think I did it was all drop shipping. I was using the tools that our company develops now, and I figured we could develop them ourselves. So, coming from enterprise software, coming from supply chain software, I sort of knew it. I mean, I've either delivered or code in commercial use, or I've done consulting, or I've done professional sales my whole career. So here we are. In December of 2016, I started working on our own online arbitrage tool. I brought on 3 folks to start working on that part-time. By March, we had our first prototype, which was Walmart, and maybe a couple of others. We started testing. Then we connected it to Amazon. In May, we went live on the tool for my account. Took a little hit, as you might imagine, working on, fixing problems with the scraper and updating Amazon and those issues, but it didn't hurt too much. I finished, just so you know, that was in May of 2017. I finished 2017 with 1.4 million in sales, even with the dip through the summertime because of the testing of the tool. In August, I brought on 15 e-commerce sellers on Amazon that were doing the same thing we're doing, and I did that so that would be our beta group. Happy to say that our beta group made it through all the testing. We got about 20 stores up and running by the time beta was done. All the beta testers are still with us today. They're all trainers. They're all $1 million sellers. They're people that give really, really good feedback. They're part of our WebScraperApp Facebook group. So if you join, you'll get a chance to meet them. So in November, which is the busy season, we opened it up referral only. In January, we opened it up to the greater community. We're up to about 45 or 50 different e-commerce stores now that are using WebScraperApp. I will tell you that we have a few values here at WebScraperApp. I've tried some of the other tools, and it's not been a good experience. So number one, I'm going to show you the app and all the features in the app, and I will tell you that it doesn't matter how many features the system has. If it's not accurate, it doesn't matter. So really, really important for us is to build a really accurate tool set. After that, the features come secondary. And so to that end, we've got folks that work, and manage the platform and manage customer service 20 out of 24 hours in the day, 7 days a week. So that's number one. Number two, I've found that customer service has been lacking in this business. These are folks that either are not professional software developers or in it for the money and not for the customer, and that's the exact opposite for us. We figure if we support the customers and give really good support for the customers, then their success will come and ours will come too. So we want to be the good guys. We want to always do the right thing. We want to help out the sellers that are using the app, and hopefully we all grow together, and that's the plan. So whereas other tools will sort of blame the user or stand back and maybe not announce when there's issues, if we see an issue with a supplier, we let you know right away. We fix it right away. We respond to every single ticket every day. So that's really, our marching orders. So that's kind of it. Right now, we're sitting on the landing page for WebScraperApp. Just so you know, let me give a quick tour. You can go to WebScraperApp.com. You can take a look at some of the things that we do and how we do it. Here's a couple videos. I just want to point this out. This is Jerry Mills. He's a $4 million seller. He had been in prior year ends. He was in our beta group. In prior year ends, he had been suspended because the apps he was using couldn't keep up with his sales. And then, of course, he got reinstated after the late shipments went down in January, February. This past year, he did not get suspended. So that was our first year. This is Michelle Brewer. Michelle is living in Roatan, Honduras, in the Caribbean, running her business on a WebScraperApp. Michelle has a number of stores, and the first store she brought over, her in-stock items went up by 1,000. So that again goes to the accuracy that's so important to us. And then here we have Katie Elliott. Katie's a trainer. I will tell you, she helps other people sell on Amazon. She's got her own Facebook group as well. And the day after she got set up on WebScraperApp, she was using one of the most popular apps out there you guys have probably heard of, and her sales tripled. So that goes to show you that accuracy is very, very important. Just click play and you'll see it. Really simply, all you do is select your package. Again, I'm going to just show you in the chat. There's Anusha's. Today it's 30% off, so you can use that coupon code AK-15809. So that'll get you 30% off of these prices here, and they're good until you migrate forward, and we're happy to keep the 30% off for you until you're up and running and make sure it's all working well. So we believe that we spend a lot of money to make sure that the platform's up and running. We spend a lot of money to make sure that the proxies and the IPs are working, and that you've got a really, really stable application. And so we hope the value is there in terms of having items that sell instead of spending any amount of money for a scraper and an inventory tool that doesn't keep your items in stock and doesn't protect you from selling out of stock items. So that's essentially it. How the system works is you'll pick your package, and then we'll send you to a landing page that says, welcome aboard. Take a look at these videos on how you get set up. We provision your system. It typically takes a little less than an hour. You'll have your login at that point. You can go and click on support here, and that takes you to the support tab. The support tab has our videos back here. So let me just show you. If I log in, if I log in, it takes you to our Learning Hub. Learning Hub is all of our training videos. The one that's most important is the video at the bottom, how to set up your suppliers, add items, add your VAs, and upload items. So we'll do that for you. We also have a Q&A section. So every 2 weeks, as part of a member of WebScraperApp, we do a mastermind. We do a Q&A. And a week from today, we've got our next mastermind coming up. And we record those and we post those up here. So it's something that is very, very valuable. You've got $1 million sellers helping newbies come on board, and they're dropping nuggets that'll get you to the 7-figure level as well. So that's what our Q&A is all about. Let me just tell you a couple things. So when you sign up with WebScraperApp, not only do you get the tool, and you get the biweekly mastermind, which I don't even know we can put a price on that, 200, 300 every 2 weeks. I don't know. We have a group of over 50 sellers that for years has been building an IP protected database. You get access to that to make sure that you're never listing items that will get you an IP complaint. You get access to the Facebook group where we do the chatter and help each other along. We have a welcome call where we schedule a phone call with you to talk about the app, make sure we answer any questions, make sure you have training, make sure you know how to get in touch with support, etc. And finally, we have free onboarding. So, when you think about the other tools, Ron, that you're sitting here listening now, the other tools, do they onboard you? Do they help you get on board? Do they call you? I don't think anybody does that. We'll actually assign a VA to review your first upload to make sure that's straight. So these are some of the things that we do to try and make sure that you guys are in great shape. So let's move on, shall we? So here's WebScraperApp. You'll, very simply, you can always just click right here to log on. I'm already logged in. I'm logged into our demo system. And let me just remind you, this is our demo system. So You know, we don't work in this every day, so there might be some changes, but this is essentially your dashboard. We're in the process of revamping dashboards. We should have, by the beginning of May, new dashboards. We have all of our suppliers. We support a little over 30, almost 40 now, and you can look at, you know, if you're used to looking at all your items in one felt swoop, or let's just let that load, or you want to look at just Bed Bath & Beyond, etc., you can just click on one single supplier. Hang on, let me take a look at the chat here. That's good. Love it. Yep, content, baby, content. That's what content and nuggets is what keeps, you know, people selling more, and that's what this is all about. We're trying to help everybody out. So the whole idea between WebScraperApp is that we try and help you refine your inventory to its best level. And the way we do that, I'm looking at Bed Bath & Beyond here in our demo system. And, you know, here's our OK products. And what we mean by OK products, these are all items that are in Amazon, that are in stock, whether they've had just come back in stock or whether they've had price changes. You can check out the price changes. You can check out the ones that came back in stock. But we also give you a place to identify immediately your out-of-stock items. Now, why is this important? Well, you know, there are times when an item might be out of stock and you want your inventory VA to be looking at this. You know, you can simply, I'm going to show you how you can check it in a minute, but in any case, let's take a look at the user interface just so you get it. So the way we designed it was to make the system, you know, all the magic happens behind the code, behind the screen. So everything, all you have to worry about is seeing the data that you simply need. So if, for example, you're on the screen, you're an experienced user, you want to add a single item, real simply, you put in the URL, the ASIN, the SKU, and then options. And by options, we track, options are variations in the way you identify it. So the way options go is it goes color, and then we use that straight up and down. Some people call it a rope or a pipe, color, size, rope or pipe, excuse me. And then option 1, and then option 2. And essentially, OPTION2. Okay, it never fails you have a typo when you're doing a demo. So in any case, so up to, we haven't seen more than 4 different variables. If you do, maybe you shouldn't list it, but we support variations in every single supplier that we support. There might come a time in the future where it's too difficult to do variations, but today every supplier that we have, we support variations. So that's an idea on how you would add an item. You notice there's not a lot of additional information, right? So we make it real easy. I'm going to show you when we get to how you do uploads real quick. I'm going to show you how easy it is to upload information, what's minimally required, and what you can additionally you can add as well. So taking a look at this, so we see we have 105 items in Bed Bath & Beyond. You'll notice here that we can do multi-item actions. That's for our delete. Pretty soon we'll be adding some other functions, but you can see I selected 5. If I uncheck 2, there's 3. I can click that and delete, you know, those 3 that are checked. Here's the item name. Now we pull the name based on the ASIN. So once you upload the ASIN and we start scraping your products, you see the product name is filled out right here. You know that item's been scraped. Here is the date and time that the item was last scraped. Let's take a look over here. Cuisinart in red, right? So 4/17 at 4:28 a.m. This again is demo data. We don't scrape demo too often, just to show you. You can delete that item by checking here. You can go into the item and edit the information. Now here's all the information we typically store that you can edit, right? Here's a source URL. There's where options would go. Now we support handling time. This is very, very important. We support handling time by supplier. So I'm going to go to the supplier table next and show you how that works. But essentially, you could change the handling time. If you had an item that is freight and takes a little longer than the balance of your Bed Bath & Beyond handling time of 4 or 5 days, then you could change the handling time here, and this would be for this item only. We also support multi-packs. Multi-packs are, you know, selling 10 cases of dog food, right, in one ASIN. So this is a way to get an edge up on your competition by getting the only person on the listing by having multi-packs. Now, multi-packs are not for freight items. Multi-packs are not for, you know, selling big screen TVs or outdoor patio furniture. But if you're selling, you know, toilet paper in cases or multiple cases, you know, for industrial buyers or or dog food, or that kind of thing. This is where it works out real good. So if you don't have a multi-pack on an item, you're selling an each or a one, then you leave this blank. But if you're selling 2 or 4 or whatever it is, then we can then track the price of each of them, including the shipping cost if you are below the shipping threshold. And so what does that mean? So let's say you're selling 4 cases of dog food and they cost $10 a piece, and Bed Bath & Beyond, for argument's sake, charges $5 for shipping over $30. Well, the 4 cases equals, at $10 a piece, is $40. We assume you buy all 4 at once, and then there's no shipping, so we feed $40 to, we have an integration to AppEagle as a repricer. Here's another nugget for you. And we update AppEagle every hour. So let me just get through this. I'll explain it. But in any case, we assume you make the purchase at one time. So AppEagle knows your total cost is $40. If it was below the shipping threshold, it would add the number of cases plus shipping to that. That'd be your source cost, and it would start repricing from there against your competition. So that's multi-packs. We'll train you more on that as we get into the back office. But in any case, you can edit an item. You can take a look at price history. Now, again, we're in demo here. I don't think we've got a lot of price history, but let's take a look. There is no price history, but if there was, you would see the price, moving up and down and the different dates that we scraped it, that sort of thing. So let me see if there's another big sales day, so you might see a few 16 piece. Let's take a look right here. Oh, here we go. Here's price history. So there's an example of scraping it and what we find as we scrape the item. So that's a pretty handy feature to see where the price is going. If you ever see a price that's changed, you can check a URL, and here's how we check the URL. I'm just going to grab that URL because we're going to take a look at it later. It's this Foamnasium, and it's $139.99, etc. So let me just close that real quick. All right, and that we scraped it this morning, so the price is still the same. Thank goodness. Now here's an interesting little tidbit. You have the ability to close an individual listing. Now, if you've been drop shipping for any period of time, the scraper would be the best unit in the world, best system in the world, but it's not real-time connected, and you may have it, the supplier may show it as in stock, but it's actually out of stock when you add it to cart. There might be some issue with that. So essentially what you do is you don't want to sell this anymore, because obviously the tool can't get the good information from the supplier. So you click close item, and then it says it was successfully closed. And we have this closed listings tab, and here's where the Foamnasium shows up. So once you figure out what the issue is with that and you resolve it, you just put it back in stock, and voila. Let's go. There's no closed listings, and we go back to in-stock items, and there it is back in stock. So that's essentially what you're looking at. Now your VAs will be working with out of stock, and they'll be taking a look at and putting items into closed listings, and they'll be checking URLs to make sure that yes, this item is in fact out of stock, and they'll also be looking at closed listings to see if they can put closed listings back into stock. When you click close listing, just so you know, what happens is it sets it to 0, and the stock quantity is 0 in Seller Central, and it stops scraping it for the future. So it just leaves it alone as is. The listing still stays in Seller Central, but it stays as 0. So that's kind of how it works. Now, let me explain a couple more things about our regular basis of scraping. So what we do is we typically scrape suppliers every 2 to 3 hours. And again, this is demo, so it's not scheduled jobs. We just scraped it for the sake of doing the demo, so we had some decently accurate information. But we scrape every 2 to 3 hours. As we scrape, we're building our upload to Amazon. We upload to Amazon every 30 minutes, so the top of the hour, the bottom of the hour. So we're building our upload file, and as soon as the job kicks off to upload to Amazon, it has the most recent data as of that last scrape. The other thing we're doing is, as we're scraping, we're building our AppEagle, it's now called Informed, repricer upload file. And so AppEagle is integrated with WebScraperApp and will actually go and grab your source cost every hour, and then it will update and start repricing right away. So it keeps, again, this is the secret sauce. This is where the magic happens, right? So the whole idea is that we're updating Amazon on a regular basis, and App Eagle's getting source cost prices on a regular basis so that it can reprice effectively and get you as many sales as possible. That's essentially how you work with the supplier screen. Now, let's go take a look at test URL. So what we typically do, I know there are automatic, tools to help you go source, tactical arbitrage, OA X-ray, or a couple of them. What we do, whether you're using a tool or not, what we do is we have our VA lists, and the listing VA has only their sheet. Then we have another VA that does QA, our inventory VA. So he's going into the listing sheet, he's grabbing that, he's checking everything, make sure size, style, brand, color, you name it. It's got to match to the ASIN that the lister is trying to list it to, right? And then from time to time, to make sure that there is the right URL so that we can scrape it, we have our QA folks come in here and do a test scrape, right? So this is a test URL. And what this is doing is going out and making sure that what the VA had listed, right now it's out there, it's grabbing the information. There's our foam craft, foamnasium, tunnel of fun. Remember, I grabbed this. It says it's in stock and available at $139.99, no shipping. So we now know that we have the correct URL. Let me share with you one more thing here. So here we go. So a lot of people, we support Walmart. Everybody uses Walmart. I recommend you get away from Walmart because you want to go where people are not. There's another nugget for you. Let me also share with you that here's, for example, we have this Walmart variation checker. So, when we have folks that are listing and I tell them you need to grab 25 items a day, I don't want to see 10 items of the same and with 15 of them being variations. So here's an example. I'm using the Big Joe beanbag chair on Walmart.com. And real quick, I'm going to just go there to that item. Now, I don't know, you may or may not be familiar with the fact that, first of all, Big Joe chairs are IP protected and they are a nightmarish supplier to Walmart. So don't use them. You'll get nailed a couple different ways. But I don't know if you're familiar. Walmart has this item number, right? So there's the item number. You see that there are variations, etc. So what we do is, I'll get back on my screen here. We go to the Walmart variation checker. We come right here. It's another tool we built for all those Walmart users. Here we go. Simply just grab the item ID and give it a second. It's out there scraping right now. You can tell it's still loading. When I'm broadcasting and going on the server and I have as many tabs open, including Skype, and we use Glip for communication, man, it just slows the world down. But here's all your variations. So all you do is grab the link, and there's the prices and the different colors and styles, etc. So there's the data you need to list these items, in the variation. So that's our Walmart variation checker. Let me show you a couple of other things. We have our file transfer section. So essentially, I talked a moment ago about uploading products. Let me show you our upload template. So when we added an item, it was only four fields because you were in Bed Bath & Beyond. The system knows you were in Bed Bath & Beyond, etc. So you add the ASIN and the SKU. You saw that. Here is our source. And the reason we add a source is because we calculate tax into your source cost. So when we do repricing, it takes your item plus tax plus shipping. That's your all-up cost, and the repricer can then take it from there. So we need that for the source supplier code. I'm going to show you that in the supplier table in a minute. Here's your source URL. I talked about having options, right? You can add other things. It doesn't hurt anything, but this is the minimum that you would need to add. Now, here's listed by. I'm going to show you our order tool. If you want to do a P&L by lister, if you want to see sales by lister, if you want to see profitability by lister, use this listed by so you know who listed it, because as soon as it sells, we'll be able to track it and tell you that. And then there's your multi-pack quantity. And if there is no, if it's not a multi-pack, you leave it blank. If it's a multi-pack, you just enter the quantity of the multi-pack. You sell it in 2s or 3s or 4s or 6s or 10s, whatever it is, you just enter the number right there. So that's essentially the upload. And again, I think I told you, we once you fill that out, and once you onboard, not only do we do an onboard welcome call, but we also assign a VA to review your initial upload to make sure you get it right. So that's a huge help. We found people love that. So once you create your upload file, you just click select file, go grab your file, and then open it, and it'll upload and give you a message that it uploaded. You can download all your items in inventory. This is the upload file that we build for AppEagle. This was before we integrated with AppEagle. You could just download it and then upload it to AppEagle. If you're using another repricer, you know, all of the information for the repricer lives in this inventory CSV. So that's how you could work with, you know, for example, Amazon's repricer. I don't recommend it. I only know one person is using it successfully, and everybody else has gotten away from it. We also support bulk delete. So I showed you how to delete by using the multi-item checkbox. I showed you how to delete by using the delete icon. You can also upload a list of items to delete. Now, a lot of people say to me, hey, Ron, I'm having a problem with this supplier. They're not honoring my items or whatnot. So let's use Walmart as an example. So for Walmart, first of all, here's our supplier table, just so you know. You can add a supplier just by grabbing the supplier you want, Costco, entering the tax rate that you pay at Costco, entering your handling time. Remember I showed you handling time at the item level. This is handling time at the supplier level. And then your restock quantity, we support all the way up to 100. If you're a seasoned seller, if you're not a seasoned seller, I recommend maybe using 12. But if you're a seasoned seller, maybe 50 or 100, whatever the number is. Because remember, we're scraping all the time, and so hopefully we'll catch it before it goes out of stock, and allows you to sell quite a few. Then you click submit, and this supplier will be added. Now, if you're having a problem with a supplier, let's say we go. Let me just cancel this. Let's say I'm having a problem with Walmart. They're canceling my orders, and Walmart does that. Boy, what a great. You've just set the restock quantity to 0. What that does is, next time we update Seller Central, we're going to take all your Walmart items, set them to 0. You won't sell them anymore, and until you solve your problem with Walmart, you can take it out of stock. Just so you know, pardon me, a couple other things. We have the ability to do an audit trail of things that your VAs do, and we also have the ability to add VAs. So adding a VA is simple as first name, last name, email, click send. Just like a user in Seller Central, it sends a link to that VA's email. The VA clicks that link, and then they've got their own login. Then you will view that VA here, and you click on approve, and that VA is now approved to use the app. By the way, you can edit the VA's information. You can revoke their access. You can delete them, and you can also reset their password. So lots and lots of good stuff. So let me show you a couple more things, and we'll move on. Let's go here. So we have the ability to process orders. And what do I mean by orders? So everybody lives in Amazon in spreadsheets, and there's no better place to handle orders than when you're integrated with an inventory tool. And let me show you what I mean. So we have these different folders. You can think of them as a list. Our British brothers consider them queues, whatever, they're lists. So we have Amazon orders. These are orders that dropped, okay, orders that dropped. Nothing else has happened with them. They haven't been processed. Once you process or place the order with the supplier, the order moves to the processed orders file. Then once you finish the processed order, and you confirm the shipment, it's in processing. Once you confirm the shipment, it goes to completed orders. Once it's completed, you've shipped it, you may get a return request. So you go into the completed order, you look up the order, you change the status to return requested, the order moves to processing. Once you've sent out the RMA and you are ready to give a refund for that order, you refund in the processing order, and it goes back to completed orders. So we're tracking your profitability all the way through. And then, of course, we have canceled orders too And cancel orders are whether if you haven't been able to fulfill it in 30 days, Amazon will cancel it. We calculate it, move it over to cancel orders. Or if you cancel an order, you can do that right here. So all this information flows to Amazon. Not one thing that I've told you doesn't flow to Amazon. So let's take a look, shall we? So let's go to Better Homes and Gardens. So this is an open order by status, right? And here is the order ID. Let's see, this is demo data. Yep, it's taking us to Seller Central. There we go. So here's the item. Let's hope this is integrated to the correct. Nope, I don't have that integrated to a particular item. Let's see if this is, nope. Okay, so the one order I processed earlier today, this is your item, and that's where it takes you, and that's how it works, okay, but this is demo data in here. So let's go take a look at the order itself. So you have the ability, again, you would simply, here's the buyer's information, here's what you'd use to copy and paste the information into your supplier. You look here, we do the calculation, right? So the buyer paid $18.05. So let's just say this item costs us $11.12, right? And the supplier order ID is right there, and we used credit card 4444. Okay, once you do that, you can see we do the profit calculation for you. We do your Amazon profit calculation so you know it. If you're done with this order, you could then just click Save Changes, and this order goes to processing. I just want to show you a couple more things real quick. Sometimes you can't place an order. Sometimes an order is out of stock. Look, we're scrape every 2 to 3 hours. I've seen an item go out of stock 2 minutes after a scrape. It's just what happens because we're not real-time integrated, right? So the item's out of stock. You flag it as out of stock, and then you'll be able to view all of your orders by out-of-stock status. Sometimes there's a price change, and there might be a loss. So you mark it as a loss, and just like out of stock, you'll have your order person reviewing all of your lost items. And then there are times when you need to cancel an order. If you send out a cancellation request to the buyer, and then you can cancel it right here. And the cancellation happens just like it would in Amazon where you say buyer canceled, etc. So I'm going to leave that right here and click Save Changes real quick. And here's what happens. Okay, the order is now saved and moved to processed orders. So that order is 208. I have to move these control panels around so I can click the right buttons. Okay, 208. So now it updates. That order is not in the list anymore. Just so you know, you can view by status. So if we had out of stock here, it would show us all of our out of stock items. I would just click search. I don't think we have any. We don't have any out of stock items. So if we did, by the way, we could search by an ASIN or a SKU or an order number. We could search by the particular date. We can search for orders by suppliers, in other words, where your source is, etc. So that's kind of how that works. Let's just click. If I leave the status to open, it loads all those open items. So here is loading it. There is the order number 208. It's been ordered. See, there's new data here now. We can confirm the order here, 987654321. Shipping method is FedEx. And it allows you to insert the correct ship date so that you can confirm and keep your valid tracking on there. I'm going to click Save Changes. This confirms the order in Seller Central. So nothing needed to do there. So when you say it's successfully updated, I'm going to close it. And okay, again, this is a bad data record, but it would then be sitting over here. And it's not. Okay, it's not a big deal. It works in the live system. This is demo code. So it would move it over here, and you could come over here to complete it. Now here's and it would show a status as shipped. So let's take a look at this one right here. So this item is shipped. This order number is 237. And someone asked me to do a return. Click a return refund. I'm going to click Save. And now it moves the order because we haven't returned yet. You could do return refund in one fell swoop, but I'm showing you how normally you would do it. You'll send out the RMA and the label, etc. And then we come over to processed orders. One second here. And here's our return refund that we just signified. and we put in the refund amount. Let's say it's $12.15. And then save changes, and now it is a completed return. You have just refunded that person and updated the refund and return in Seller Central, and you're golden. That's all you have to do. So it works real well. Let's go to completed orders just to show you. Whoop, no canceled orders. And here is our LED Fulcrum motion license returned, refunded on a return. So that's how our order tool works. It's pretty slick, very powerful. We've got half our user base is using it now, and it's fantastic. Let me show you, just close this up. Let me show you, still loading, tickets. So we built our own ticketing system. So if I wanted to, I could view all my open tickets. So here's an example of an open ticket that I have. This is one that I created earlier today. Ace and SKU not scraping, etc. You know, I could put in some more remarks. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, E, and then update the ticket. This is integrated with email. So this allows you to email. You can respond to it from email, or you can respond to it right here, and you'll receive our responses back to you. You could also attach a file if you wanted. Just choose the file and upload it, etc., and then click update the ticket. So if you had a list of ASINs, if you had an image, if you had, you could put a link to a YouTube video if you want to explain something in a video. Some of our users do that. It makes things really, really easy for us here. So that's how we view tickets. To create a ticket, real simple. I'm going to, my system is overloaded. You select the priority. Now remember, I showed you how to take a supplier out of stock. So you should never have a system down, but if you did, you click support issue, ASIN issue, ASIN and supply, let's call it a supplier issue. Walmart again, Drats. And then you just create the ticket, and it's really that simple. And you can find there's the link to the ticket right there. So you can see, let's go to view tickets. Should be sitting right there. There it is. Supplier issue. Demo. Walmart again, Drats, right? So let me just correct my spelling. Update the ticket. Okay, there we go. And once you create a ticket, once we respond to it, it's in your resolve tickets. So you can go to your view tickets, or you can look at resolve tickets where the last response was. And if we put a ticket into the resolved list or the resolved folder, you have 72 hours to respond to it. And if you don't, then it goes to your closed ticket, and that's where all this is where all the old tickets go to die. Essentially, that's basically it. So that is our system in a nutshell. Let me just remind you, we're working, let's talk about roadmaps. So the first thing, we just finished version 1.1 of the order tool. It's working fantastically. So and a lot of people are real happy about that. We are moving on to doing some new dashboards. So now that we've got better sales and order data, we'll be able to rank like your top 10 selling products, your top 10 profitable products, and your top supplier. You rank your suppliers by sales and profitability, and we'll be able to rank listers. And so we're going to work on a variety of dashboards and just probably give you more than you need. So that's in process right now. We are then going to start on eBay, Shopify, and wholesale import. So that's coming in. We're going to start on it in May. We figure we'll get done with it around July or so. Once we get done with that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a ship to copy and paste for order processing to make that quicker and easier. We are going to work on an order bot, so it'll start. Well, it's a script, not the kind of thing you just let order and not watch. Someone needs to watch it, but the whole idea, there's a danger, I feel, this is my approach, is is over automation. So I don't want to over automate it. I just want to make sure that you could have one person working on ordering from one supplier and place 20 orders in an hour, and that speeds up the process. If there's an issue on the site where the order doesn't go through, or the item has changed, or it's at a loss or something like that, it should stop the script. And so like I had mentioned before, we do everything is purpose built. So we'll write a specification for the order bot that we build, and we expect we should have that out before the end of the year. And then the other thing the team's going to be doing is the team's going to be working on an intelligent repricer. Right now, what happens is there all these repricers are out there, and the goal is to reprice based on the computer, based on checking your competitive level. And what that is a race to the bottom. And what we want to do is race to the midpoint. What I mean by that is we want to build a repricer that gets you the buy box more often at the highest price. So we're going to start measuring the value of and ranking it. If we keep it 10 cents higher, does it get you 10 more sales, or do we take it 5 cents higher and it only gets you 9 more sales? Maybe we leave it at 5 cents higher, than your next competition. So those are the things that we're going to be working on. It's an exciting future. Our roadmap is probably going to take us into 2019. We're going to continue to grow. You'll see in May a new advertising blitz on Facebook for all of the folks out there that are drop shipping. Should see it because you guys will all get tagged, and that's kind of where we're going. Anyway, that is it. Let me just remind you again, AK15809 gets you 30% off. Just to show you, we have a discount code on our landing page. It's only 20% off. So using Anusha's code will get you an additional 10% off. And of course, we want to be the good guys. We'll always support you. So that's really the end of sort of the material, the overview. We've put a ton of money into this. We have 10 folks on the dev team right now. That includes the platform support guys as well. But there's lots and lots of people working 20 hours a day to make this right. And our goal is to build the best tool on the market. So do you have any questions? Are there any questions I can answer for you? There we go. See one in chat. Let's take a look. Yeah, go ahead. I'm happy to wait. Thank you, Ronald. My family calls me Ronald. All my friends call me Ron. This is inventory in a sandwich. Ron and Ron style. While you're typing that, let me just take to prevent the dead air. Again, there's Anusha's code, AK-15809 is 30% off. You get with WebScraperApp, no matter what package, you get the biweekly Mastermind. That's got to be worth at least a couple of $100 a month. A couple $100 a meeting. So there's tremendous value there. You get a welcome onboarding call. You get a VA to work with you on your first upload. We've got training videos for you, and we've got a list of IP restricted database. So lots and lots of value coming on board to WebScraperApp. And again, we're the company that cares. We're in this to create success for everybody. And by the way, I'm drop shipping just like you. I don't know if you guys saw, but here's my Amazon emails and in the lower right hand corner, and Amazon sales we're making. All right, since Ron, you're typing, I'm gonna so there it is. With this tool, is it finding arbitrage opportunities similar to tactical arbitrage? And we use App Eagle to keep it repriced at a certain level. So we want 10% return. App Eagle will do the price, 10% above that buy price. Do I have an accurate? So what this tool does is you will find arbitrage opportunities. You will then load those opportunities into Seller Central. You'll load those opportunities into WebScraperApp. From that point forward, WebScraperApp will take over. It will check to make sure the item's in stock so you don't sell out of stock items. And this allows you to scale. I mean, you're looking at the starter packages there, starter package 1, 2, and 3. We go all the way up to, above 15,000 for certain people. So, and we've got quite a few of our $1 million sellers that have way over 15,000 items, just so you know. And this is how you sell $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year. So that's number one. So having a wide, you can't check manually all your products in stock, which is why you pay a software provider to do that. Once we take over the item, we're managing your in and out of stock. We're managing your source costs, including taxes. We're feeding that source cost to AppEagle, and then AppEagle does the repricing. So yeah, you've got the basics of it. I just want to expand your thinking, Ronald, and make sure everybody's thinking that, hey, if I'm in this, I'm in it to win it. And if I'm in it to win it, then I got to have thousands of items, and I got to have a good tool, and I got to make sure I'm priced competitively so I can grow. We did 180 something thousand last month, and we got a couple of A to Z's. So Amazon really knocked us down for a little over a week because of that. We were waiting to try and get them removed. There's a little nugget: try and solve your A to Z's as quickly as possible, and that ended up hurting us a little bit in terms of our sales. But we're on track to do about 135, 140 this month as well. So great question, Ronald. I'm going to stop the recording. Stay on the line, Ron. We can have a further chat if you'd like. Listen, I just want to thank everybody for their time watching. It's been about 45 minutes. I hope you got great value out of it. You can reach us. I'm Ron at WebScraperApp.com, or you can reach the support desk, info@WebScraperApp.com. We're here to help. Come on board, give us a try, 7-day free trial, and you will not go wrong. Our goal is to bring you on board and keep you and grow with you. So that's basically it. Let's stop recording at this point, and thanks again.